You know when they say that everything is political, so entertainment is political? I don't know about that, but what I do know is that in the year of the Lord 2024, politics are definitely entertaining. I saw this coming from America, from Gavin Newsom himself, and I definitely laughed. So I wanted to share it with you guys to see what you think about it.
We're almost there. You're gonna make it.
Trump Republicans want to criminalize young Alabama women who travel for reproductive care.
Miss, I'm going to need you to step out of the vehicle, take a pregnancy test.
Stop them by taking action at righttotravel.org.
I did find the lack of diversity to be very concerning and deeply harmful. They're definitely not going to win any film awards because, as far as I know, you need to hit the check boxes in modern day America to even be considered to get an award. Definitely not taken by Amazon. You need check boxes as well. Netflix might take them, I don't know. But they would have to race swap a couple of characters in order to get them approved. With that out of the way, a lot of drama. I loved it. You know, compared to most modern films, this actually created tension and drama, so that was good. You know, no extra music in the background to distract you, no Marvel-type jokes. So the production value was good and the acting was solid. But it did remind me more of COVID than, you know, what's actually going on in America. Like, if this situation was during the lockdowns, completely believable. You know, I could see that in a nation out there, like maybe a police officer stops a person that's just minding their own business, asks for identification, forces them to take a PCR test to see if they're positive or not, and then arrests them, right? Sends them to quarantine. Yeah, like if this was about the pandemic and, you know, the government measures about the pandemic, because the virus wasn't doing any of that, right? Like the virus wasn't stopping your car, the virus was, no, it was the politicians you know, enforcing the police officers to do these things. So if it was about the pandemic, definitely 10 out of 10 video. But I, as an Eastern European, find it difficult to believe that America is really that deep under communism right now. In the Soviet Union, they would have done this. Like in the Soviet Union, the communists in my country, they were really big on pro-life. I'm not kidding. Like that was a thing. You can look it up on Wikipedia. And not only did they make any type of contraceptive illegal, so if you had 5 kids and you wanted to have sex with your wife, well, who cares? You're going to get the 6th. Condoms were illegal. The pill was illegal. Any type of contraceptive was illegal. If you tried to jump the border, they could actually shoot you. I mean, the communists were very serious about the border. And they would also ask women to take pregnancy tests at work in order to see if they're actually pregnant or not. So it wasn't as bad as this commercial, but it was pretty close. And a lot of women who didn't want to have kids, they ended up starving themselves. They ended up taking various remedies and tinctures that they learned from grandma. Romania had one of the highest number of children with mental deficiencies because of the attempted and the failed pregnancy abortions. A huge hepatitis outbreak because the underground doctor mafia that was performing these in hotels and in illegal establishment wouldn't sterilize their instruments, so that they would spread diseases and stuff. Overall, not good, right? And it was because of this overly exaggerated thing that the Democrats are trying to portray. But this is not happening in America, and Trump is not a communist. What he actually said in his campaign trail is that this is going to be about state rights, which is true. Like the founding fathers of the United States never mentioned abortion one way or another in the Constitution. And I read it myself several times thinking that maybe I missed it the first time around, but no, they genuinely did not mention this at all. Now, Roe v. Wade was passed because the Supreme Court, which at the time was entirely straight, white, cisgender male, considered that there is this matter of privacy between a person and their doctor. Something that was thrown away during the pandemic, where it wasn't my body, my choice. It was get vaccinated, you bigot, or else you're not going to get employed. So when that went out of the way, the more diverse Supreme Court, which, is presided by a black man, so you get a lot of diversity there, which is probably why the Democrats aren't adding diversity in this commercial. I don't know. I can only suspect. But they basically said, okay, well, if public health is a matter of public debate, then it's up to the state rights to decide on abortions. Now, the Democrats, which are worshipping democracy, they're like, oh, we need to save our democracy. But when it comes to people actually voting, especially on voting on issues, right? So not on party lines, because if you vote a politician, that promises one thing, but once they get in power, they do another. Oh, they kind of prefer that. But what they don't prefer if you vote on actual policy. And then it's a little bit more complex. To be honest, I do find it interesting that the fact checkers aren't here. Like, perhaps they're busy fact checking the Republican campaigns and their ads, because whenever Trump released an ad, immediately you had an army of fact checkers under it criticizing the ad and saying, oh no, well, this is actually not happening. Which is good, you know, like, it's fine. I want to be informed. But when it comes to this, there's no fact checkers. What are the fact checkers saying that it would be illegal for a police officer to force a woman to take a pregnancy test? Like, under the American legislation, that thing is illegal. Not to mention, like, he didn't bring a potty so that she can pee into, you know? But yeah, no, basically what they're actually trying to say, the essence of this, is that abortion is going to even be banned if you travel state lines, which is not the case. Like, I actually looked at all the legislation that the United States have before making this video, because I was generally curious, like, not wanting to say something wrong. And there is absolutely nothing prosecuting women that live in a state which would ban abortion, and they would travel to another state where it's permissive. In fact, we do this in Europe all the fucking time, right? So, like, in Europe, we are much more conservative than most of America. Like, when it comes to reproductive care, America is actually one of the most radical nations on earth. Seriously, like, look it up. Look at the time period that you're allowed to have it, and then compare it, not with Africa, which is incredibly conservative, and in some places it's even outright banned. No, look with Europe. And in Europe, you have nations that are incredibly conservative and others that aren't. And some people do what this lady did. Right? So, like, if they're from Poland, they can travel all the way to Germany, get their reproductive health care there, and then return, right? Like, it's illegal. Not even in Europe, which is a lot more conservative than the United States on this issue. Not even here do they complain or do they find it illegal if a person goes from one country to another in order to see their doctor. And it's absolutely ridiculous to believe that America, which can't defend its external border, is going to start enforcing this among state lines. Like, come on. Absolutely bizarre and ridiculous. But, I mean, I did find the production value to be very entertaining, so I wanted you guys to see it as well. It's not a parody video. As you can see here, it's from Gavin Newsom, 1 million views. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.